Hi, this is Dr. Priya Gupta with Interventional Mindset. And today we have the opportunity to peek into the exam lane with Dr. George Waring from the Waring Vision Institute, where he talks to a patient about dysfunctional lens syndrome and refractive lens exchange. If you watch closely, you'll see how he makes his connection with his patient and helps them understand what dysfunctional lens syndrome is and why refractive lens exchange is an effective opportunity to treat their vision. Enjoy.
Essentially, your eye goes through a series of stages of maturing. This happens earlier in life. And you and I got lucky. We were born with perfect vision, or better than perfect vision.
Yes, wow.
And so you and I are not habituated to these things hanging off your neck.
Right.
This is something that when this starts to happen, and it's happening to both of us, we don't take kindly to it because it's not something that we're used to. This was not. We weren't born wearing contact lenses and glasses as a requirement to see, right? So we got lucky, and then something happens. We age, and when we age, we coined this phrase a few years ago called "falling off the vision cliff." We're falling.
I am falling.
And
Every few years it drops.
And we're falling. We're falling faster and faster. And you know, good news, bad news. Bad news is it just gets worse and worse and worse. Good news is we have great solutions to fix it. But the important aspect to this is your problem is not a vision problem that you were born with. And that's what we do LASIK for. All right. Typically we're doing LASIK for people that are born nearsighted or with astigmatism. You weren't born with any of that. You were born perfect. So you didn't need any of that stuff. You skipped that whole first stage. Usually we're fixing people earlier in life with that. But now you've got into your second stage of ocular maturity, which is your lens is not functioning like it used to. It's not focusing it like it used to. And we proposed a term to the medical community about a decade ago called the dysfunctional lens. It's a scientific way to talk about the aging changes of your eye. All right. So, and we also proposed a staging to it, and so you're kind of at that first or second stage where you've lost your function. You've lost your zoom function. So, what am I talking about? Let me show you. Well, here's a picture in your advanced vision analysis looking at the outside lens of you. This is actually you.
You answered my question.
This is actually you. So, here's the outside lens of your eye. Think of your eye like a two-lens system, and what this is showing me is that you're a little bit out of focus for a distance. You got a little bit of what's called astigmatism. So your binoculars are not perfectly in focus for your distance vision, okay? And that's that little line right there, all right? That same thing here in your left eye, just a little bit out of focus for distance. Overall doing very well, but you could be a little bit better.
Great.
Now, here's a cross section of your right eye, all right? And this is your outside lens. So I just showed you that. And this is a cross section. So a little bit out of focus. Same thing here in your left. That's your outside lens. But here's your internal lens, okay, of your left eye and your internal lens of your right eye. And something very important has occurred over time. This internal focusing lens is lost its function compared to when we were young. You are at the first, now almost in the second stage of the dysfunctional lens syndrome, as I defined it, and you've lost your function, but something else has happened. First stage was you can't zoom, you start needing these things. Fast forward another 5 to 10 years, you go to your second stage, and this is starting to become a little bit cloudy, right? This is air outside your eye, right? That's optically clear like outer space or black in this picture. That's infinity. But you can see this internal lens is a little opaque.
Yeah.
You see that up here?
Yes.
So you're not seeing as clearly as you should. That's like having a slightly dirty windshield stuck in your eye. And that's why you've noticed your distance vision go down just a little bit.
Just a hair.
Correct. And that's an aging process. That's what defines the second stage of your aging, of your lens not functioning. LASIK really is intended to fix your distance vision. Right? You don't have a distance vision problem. You have a zoom function problem. You have a reading vision problem.
Yes.
So the clear procedure goes to the source of the problem. Instead of doing laser out here, we go here, do laser here. And we use a restorative implant to restore the function. And not only does it improve your distance, it gives you your zoom function back. Right?
So that I'd be able to read again?
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So that's the first benefit above and beyond LASIK. And LASIK's great, but it's just for a different category.
Yes.
Number two, that opacity, when I'm done with you, we would put in a crystal clear lens implant. All right, so it's no longer cloudy. So it improves your quality of vision. All right, so it's crystal clear when I'm done.
Is that something that when we get all old, like the old people get? Is
Cataracts?
Yes. Is that something like that?
Well, you are very smart, and thank you for bringing her. So yeah, that's why we like having family, because you got two brains thinking. Essentially, this prevents cataracts, and that's the third benefit to this.
Look
It's
at
permanent.
you.
So you beat me to the punch.
Okay.
And so this is anti-aging in its purest form.
Okay.